father found out I was thugging. Do you believe me when I tell you you the one I'm loving? Are you mad cause I'm asking you 21 questions? Are you my soulmate? Cause if so, girl, you a blessing. Do you trust me enough to tell me your dreams? I'm staring at you trying to figure how you got in them jeans. If I was down, would you say things to make me smile? I treat you how you wanna be treated, just teach me how. If I was with some other chick and someone happened to see, and when you asked me about it, I said it wasn't me, would you believe me or up and leave me? How deep is our bond if that's all it takes for you to be gone? We only humans, girl, we make mistakes to make it up, I do whatever it takes. I love you like a fat kid love cake. You know my style, I say anything to make you smile.
I'm back again. How y'all doing? My voice, our agenda. Yeah, I'm gonna get right to it. First, I always give thanks to my God. I can't disrespect my God. Thank you for waking me up this morning, giving me another chance to reach out to the people. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Uh, Listen, my God is good. I appreciate it. My God is good. I'm blessed. Nobody can keep me down. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can keep me down. I'm blessed. And without God, I'm nothing. With Him, I'm everything. Yeah, I'm cooking now. I'm cooking. Huh? Listen, I'm going to get right to it. You know, I said in my last video I was going to talk about something different. So I talked about martial law, dictatorship. I've seen that going on down in Minnesota and what happened out there in California to my man Keith Porter. And out there in Minnesota with Renee Good being murdered by the ICE agents. And there's so much going on with Venezuela and, you know, Nigeria, bombing Nigeria. It's just so much going on with this administration, the Trump administration. But there's one way we can stop it. I wonder if people watching know what I'm talking about. There's one way that we can get rid of that idiot. One way we can get rid of him. Midterm election 2026. You know what's funny? That fool, we know what can happen to him if we get out there and vote. The Democrats can take over the House and the Senate. I'm going to say it again. Midterm election. If they win all their districts and if they can get the House and the Senate, they take over the House if they win. They take over the Senate. You know how dangerous that is to Trump and his administration? Let me tell you how serious it is. Donald Trump talked about canceling the midterm election. He immediately insisted, in the same senses, that he was not suggesting it. He wasn't suggesting, he was demanding it. This is what he wants to do. This is what he's engineering. He's cooking it up, trying to find a way to cancel his demise. It's not about canceling the midterm election. It's about canceling his demise, delaying it because he knows what can happen. So he did a warning to all his Republican colleagues. If they don't win, this came out of his mouth. If the Republicans do not win the midterm election, he, and quote, says, if they don't win the 2026 midterm, that he will get impeached. I want y'all to understand that. So he wants to cancel the midterm election. At the same time, in the same breath, telling his Republican colleagues if they don't win, he's going to get impeached by the Democrats. Are y'all not entertained? Do you understand what's going on? This is the president of the United States. See, I was telling some co-workers about this, like the difference between him and a lot of politicians. He don't hide nothing. He tell you straight up how he feel. He don't like you, he gonna tell you. Whether you're white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, dog, cat, he don't care. He tells you how he feel. Because he can't be presidential. He don't know how to be presidential. So he tells you exactly what's on his mind. That's why his followers love him. A lot of people love him, even if they don't follow him. They're like, at least he's honest. He's a sick individual, but he tells you how he feels. So I don't, I don't think we can really ignore um, what that means. So let's take this back to when Biden won, when Biden defeated him in the 2020 election. And he was the president at the time, and he refused to leave office. He tried to get Pence, his vice president, to go in there and not certify the election in the Capitol. So he goes out there that day of the certification in Washington, and he have a whole bunch of his supporters out there, white supremacist group and everybody. They're all out there. That's the day of the certification. That's January 6th. January 6th. Y'all know what that day was, right? And he clearly, indirectly, told them to rise up. Do not let this certification happen. Because I think he knew that Pence wasn't going to, his vice president wasn't going to go against the Constitution, a man of honor. I'm not going to go against the Constitution. I'm going to do what the American people put me in office to do. That's what I came here for. Trump didn't like that. So instead, he riled his people up on January 6th. He spoke and then he went on to the White House while his people went on to the Capitol and attacked, committed murder, committed crime, rushed into there, broke into the Capitol and did everything unimaginable. That was 2020. Here we are in 2026. I think he's made this comment. Yeah, 2026, right? Because I'm thinking he made it before the holidays or after the holidays. Whatever the case may be, here he is talking about canceling the midterm election. See, this is how his mind works. This is how he engineers things. Just like he do martial law. He thinks like a dictator. So he's talking about canceling the midterm. So what do you think going to happen if the Democrats win the midterms and they take over the House and the Senate? I'll tell you what's going to happen. But first, let me backtrack a little bit because this goes back to the Venezuelan situation where he went and kidnapped the president Maduro and his wife. Now he knows has nothing to do with drugs. This has a lot to do with oil and the U.S. dollar. Well, damn, Press 69, we know about the oil, but what you mean about the U.S. dollar? Let me enlighten you something. Let me enlighten you guys, and let me educate you guys a little bit. It's outside of the oil situation. Everybody knows that. He says it himself. We're going to put the great big oil companies over there, and we're going to do right by the Venezuelan people. Right after he kidnapped the president and his wife, he goes right into the oil conversation. What he won't tell you is Venezuela used to thrive off the U.S. dollar when they had the oil and all that stuff. They used that as their currency. They got away from the U.S. dollar and they went to the yen. This is why people are saying that the U.S. dollar, is no longer have value because other countries are going to different currencies. So you have the number one oil supplier in the world, in Venezuela. Now you get away from the U.S. dollar. America has no national resources. Their dollar is crashing. You need to understand, as an American citizen, educating yourself on what's really going on. And don't get blinded by the American media because they are controlled by the Jews. They are controlled by Israel. Do not get brainwashed. You have to do your homework and understand that this is deeper than oil. This wasn't about drug trafficking. This is about natural resources. This is about creating a war. If he starts a war, a major war, why am I mentioning war? Well, Venezuela was in debt with China, and they made a deal with China that they will pay back their debt with oil. Yeah, oil is a damn thing, ain't it? They'll pay you back in oil. If Trump goes over there and kidnap Maduro and his wife, bring them to the United States to fake charges, drug charges, put his own people in there, bring OPEC and Exxon and all that stuff into Venezuela to control the oil, how is Venezuela going to pay back China with oil? That's a problem. See, what people don't know, Russia, Venezuela, and China had a pact where they will be defended if any foreign adversary was to go over there and to do anything for them. They're supposed to have been protected by Russia and China. It didn't happen. Why? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe they're all in the same bed together. I don't know what's going on. But that is playing with fire. And Trump don't give a damn. But his thing is, if I get into a war and the Democrats win the midterm elections and they take over the House and the Senate, even if they impeach me, they can't remove me during war. Are y'all following me? Engineered and cooked up. He cooked it up. He may be an idiot. He may be a pedophile. He may be a felon, but he ain't no fool. And he put everybody in place. See, he got rid of all these judges and all. He even got a Supreme Court in his pocket. So he is the law. So he's cooking up everything, nationally and internationally. But he's trying to avoid from leaving office. Here's another scenario. Even if we don't get into a war and he get impeached, he will not leave. He will take to the street. His supporters will take it to the street. You think January 6th was bad? I don't think none of us are alive know what a civil war looks like. Because if he don't remove himself after being impeached, it's going to cause a lot of issues in American streets. Because there's people going to go out there and protest, and then you're going to have people protesting against the protesters, right? You're going to have anti-Trump people out there going against pro-Trump people. That's bloodshed. This is what he wants. He does not want to get impeached. So he comes out and say, I want to cancel midterm. That doesn't even sound right. Like, what president thinks like that? So if China doesn't and Russia doesn't react to Venezuela, I'm going to go get Greenland. Ain't nobody going to do nothing about it. Well, that's what he thinks. Because Greenland is part of NATO. And NATO is not going to sit back and let this man start taking countries away from people, like just taking it. So now we have another dilemma. Now you have to worry about Europe. A lot of them are our allies, but I'll be damned if they're gonna let that man go in there and snatch Greenland like that. So now you're talking about a man that's trying to prevent from being impeached. So he's doing everything in his power to create a situation where if there's a war, I can't be removed. And what happens if he gets through that? 2028. I think I want to run for a third term. Or if not, I'm just not going to leave office. You see, you don't renovate the West Wing, and the White House and make it like Mar-a-Lago. He had it all renovated. You know, most people that renovate anything, their home, their mansion, their office, whatever you renovate and you spend millions and billions of dollars on something. You don't renovate it with the expectation of leaving. Did anybody think about that? He did that big renovation, big beautiful renovation in the White House. That man is not planning on leaving the White House. Am I reaching? Say what you want to say. But that man does not plan on leaving the White House. We have a problem in this country. American people need to wake up and understand that he has no plans on leaving the White House. He has no plan on not taking the military off our street. He don't give a damn about the health situation, health costs, health care. He don't care about jobs. He doesn't care about, you know, people that's on food stamps. He don't care about education. All he care about is the rich getting rich. He wants to be powerful. He wants to walk out of there as a king, as a dictator. And our lives are on the line. I want y'all to hear me. Our lives are on the line. Our children are at risk of living in a third world country. I'm serious. Hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. My voice, our agenda. Integrity is everything. Either you have it or you don't. Prayer 69. I'm signing off. Salute. Have a good day. I love y'all, my people. One.